Hello, today I'll be talking about Wobbuffet. Starting in Gen 3, it's the evolution of Wynot, who evolves at level 15. Wobbuffet's previous VYC dates are September 15th, 1996, July 7th, 1999, April 27th, 2002, February 15th, 2005, December 7th, 2007, September 27th, 2010, July 18th, 2013, May 8th, 2016, February 27th, 2019, and December 18th, 2021. I, like many people, know Wobbuffet as a member of the main Team Rocket team in the anime, starting in the Gen 2 era. It would often randomly leave its Pokeball, not unlike Misty's Psyduck, although it tended to appear regularly at the end of Team Rocket's motto, as seen here.
Double!
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse!
James!
Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light!
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
That's right!
Wobbuffet has a rather silly design, which I've often compared to Quagsire, each being blue, tall, generally upright Pokemon with long tails. Something that particularly surprised me was that while Wobbuffet was introduced in Gen 2, its pre-evolution Wynot wasn't. It's weird thinking about a time where Wobbuffet wasn't an evolution. Similar situations with other Gen 2 Pokemon, with evolutionary relatives, surprised me when I started this project, but we'll get back to them when we talk about the pre-evolutions and evolutions. Anyway, let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we talk about Wobbuffet, the patient Pokemon whose number is 0 to 102. This is what it looks like. Its type is Psychic, ability, Shadow Tag, and Telepathy is its hidden ability. Gender ratio is 50-50. Catch rate is 45 or 11.9%. Breeding is egg group Amorphous. Hatch time 20 cycles. Height is 4'3" or 1.3 meters. Weight is 62.8 pounds or 28.5 kilograms. Basic Smear Seal is 177 in Gen 2 through 4, and 142 in 5+. Leveling rate is medium fast, EVL is 2, and HP. Shape is that, footprint is that. Pokedex color is blue, and base friendship is 70. Wobbuffet is a Psychic-type Pokemon introduced in Gen 2. It evolves from Wynot, starting at level 15. Biology, Wobbuffet is a tall cyan Pokemon with a soft body. Its eyes usually appear scrunched, and it has a jagged upper lip. The female Wobbuffet has a red marking on its mouth that resembles lipstick, while the male does not. It has flat arms that are wider towards the tip, and 4 stubby legs at the base of its body. There are 2 eye spots on its black tail. Its eye spots are revealed to be capable of blinking and looking around using its tail in the Pokémon Stadium series. Wobbuffet is very protective of its tail to the point where it will suddenly turn uncharacteristically aggressive if the tail is attacked. Wobbuffet is usually a docile Pokémon that will never attack first. However, when it is attacked, it will inflate its body and initiate a counter-strike. When 2 or more of this Pokemon meet, they will attempt to outlast each other in a battle of endurance. However, since neither is able to attack, they may compete to see which can last without food. Because of its overprotective nature regarding its tail and hatred of light, Wobbuffet lives in dark caves. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Wobbuffet is known to keep its tail hidden even while it sleeps. However, it will drop its guard when deeply asleep, exposing its tail completely. Prior to Gen 5, Wobbuffet and its pre-evolved form Wynot were the only known Pokemon that could have Shadow Tag as an ability. Evolution, Wobbuffet evolved from Wynot, so you got Wynot, Wobbuffet. Game data, NPC appearances, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team, and Blue Rescue Team. Wobbuffet and Wynot send the player on a mission into the Uproar Forest. As thanks for completing it, they help it remodel the rescue base. Notably, the Wobbuffet is the only Pokemon in the entire game that doesn't speak in a way the player can understand, as it only says its own name. Though in the later game, Explorers of Sky, it does not speak this way. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Sky, Wobbuffet, confirmed to be female by its lipstick, once again joins Wynot, only this time they're running a shop in the Spinda's Cafe, called the Recycle Shop. Unlike the first game, it no longer says its name, and instead says, "That's right." I think that might be a reference to the Meowth line we talked about earlier in the video. Pokedex entries in Gen 2 in Gold. It hates light and shock. If attacked, it inflates its body to pump up its counter-strike. Silver. To keep its pitch black tail hidden, it lives quietly in the darkness. It is never first to attack. Crystal. In order to conceal its black tail, it lives in a dark cave and only moves about at night. For Stadium 2, if you have Pokemon Red, Silver, or Crystal inserted, you basically get the Gold entry, but Counter-Strike is 2 words. If you have Pokemon Blue, Gold, or Yellow inserted, you get the Silver entry. In Gen 3, and Ruby, If two or more Wobbuffets meet, they will turn competitive and try to outdo each other's endurance. However, they may try to see which one can endure the longest without food. Trainers need to be aware of this habit. Sapphire, Wobbuffet does nothing but endure attacks. It won't attack on its own. However, it will endure an attack on its tail. When that happens, the Pokemon will try to take the foe with it using Destiny Bond. Emerald, usually docile, a Wobbuffet strikes back ferociously if its black tail is attacked. It makes its lair in caves where it waits for nightfall. Fire Red is the silver entry. Leaf Green is the gold entry. In Gen 4 and Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it desperately tries to keep its black tail hidden. It is said to be proof the tail hides a secret. Heart Gold is basically gold, but Pump is now Build. Soul Silver is its silver counterpart. The Gen 5 Pokedex entries are Diamond, Pearl, and Platinums. In Gen 6, X is Heart Gold's entry, Y is the silver entries, and Fire Red's entry. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, basically Ruby and Sapphires, but Wobbuffet, Trainers, Pokemon, and Destiny Bond are all the correct casing. In Gen 8, Sword is Gold's entry and Leaf Green's entry. Shield is the silver entries, Fire Red's entry, and Y's entry. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are very similar to Diamond and Pearls, but slightly different, so I'll read it. It desperately tries to keep its black tail hidden. This behavior is said to be proof that its tail hides a secret. Game locations, side game locations, and events. Held items in Black 2 and White 2. You get a Rage Candy Bar as an in-game trade 100% of the time. Stats, base stats, HP 190, Attack 33, Defense 58, Special Attack 33, Special Defense 58, Speed 33, for a total of 405. Pokeathlon stats, Type Effectiveness, damage normally by Normal, Flying, Poison, Ground, Rock, Steel, Fire, Water, Grass, Electric, Ice, Dragon, and Fairy. Weak to Bug, Ghost, and Dark for double, immune to nothing, resistant to Fighting, and Psychic for half. Learn Set by leveling up, we'll do this upon evolution. Upon evolution, you get Counter, Mirror Coat, Safeguard, and Destiny Bond. By TM/TR, what we'll do is we'll read it in this video, but not the Why Not video. So, Sword and Shield, TM 19, you get Safeguard, 29 Charm, TR 17, Amnesia, TR 30, Encore, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, TM 20, Safeguard. It's a normal status move, and it's 25 PP. By breeding is nothing, by tutoring is nothing, by prior evolution's nothing. By transfer from another generation, from an event in Gen 3, you get Tickle. It's a normal status move. Its power is nothing, accuracy is 100%, and PP is 20. Anime series only moves is Bide. It's a normal type move from the episode A Hot Water Battle. Side game data, got all this. Yeah. Pokemon Ranger in the browser entry. When a capture line is drawn, Wobbuffet tenses up and inflates itself instantly. In Guardian Signs, it attacks by launching strange rings that make Pokemon stopped. You got all this. Yep. Pokemon Sleep. It desperately tries to keep its black tail hidden, though it keeps up the effort even while asleep. It's said that when Wobbuffet sleeps deeply and drops its guard, its tail can be seen on full display. Tail hiding sleep, biting sleep, signature pose sleep, and a top belly sleep. Costumes in Pokemon Go, you got a party hat. It's kind of silly. It doesn't even really look like it's on its head. Kind of almost looks like it's photoshopped on there. But evolution data, you get Why Not, level 15, Wobbuffet, so you could breed it, I guess, holding the Laxin sense. Sprites here, so a little bit greener, but more or less the same. It doesn't really change that much. Its eyes are a little bit weird, though, on the tail here. A little bit different. It kind of looks more like eyes here, I guess. It's also got the blue here. It's purple. Throughout, and a little bit of dark blue, I guess. I got Gen 3, got all the proper coloring now. The eyes, you can only see one of the eyes, but there are two there. You can kind of see it now. It looks like actual eyes, or like the eyes we have now, I guess. There's a different kind of purplish pink. Gen 4, we go to this sort of bluer color. And then we've got females, you know, the difference with the lipstick, the ridiculous lipstick. The color is a little bit different on here, kind of an orange, then kind of a red here. It seems to be generally a little bit darker, maybe even throughout the whole thing. Yep. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Gen 5, you got the full back sprites, you can see both eyes. Yep. Then Gen 6 got the modern blue and kind of pinkish purple, and the modern red for the lipstick, I guess. Yeah, pretty good models. I mean, it's kind of hard to mess this one up. Yeah, got all these. We got the better models and Sword and Shields. Homes, you got their models. So you can see there's sort of gender difference, I guess, does it? It's not as obvious here, but here it's like a darker red versus sort of a more faint red, I guess. Here, that's interesting. Yeah, but in animation, Wobbuffet and Pokemon the series, X, Y. So Jesse's Wobbuffet is the big one. Then we got female Wobbuffet and Pokemon the series, X and Y, with 3 Y knots. That's very cute. Yep. These, yeah. Pokedex entries in episode 146 in Ash's Pokedex. Wobbuffet, the patient Pokemon. Wobbuffet like to live in dark areas so they can keep their pitch black tails concealed. In the same episode, in James's book, Wobbuffet, the patient Pokemon, is unable to initiate attacks. Wobbuffet in Twilight Wings here. Fun. This is in Evolutions, in the manga. Wobbuffet in Pokemon Adventures. You got all these, and the TCG, and the TFG. Other appearances, Super Smash Bros. Melee / Brawl. When released from a Pokeball, Wobbuffet will stand on the stage in one place. Anyone attacking or running into it will be damaged by its counter. Apart from the player who threw the Pokeball, who will only be knocked back. Wobbuffet is also a Pokefloat in Melee. It appears on its side and never fully reveals itself. When it first appears, it will quickly return off-screen, but will then come back and remain to allow for fighting to take place on top of it. So you got Wobbuffet in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Melee trophy information. A patient Pokemon, Wobbuffet lives in darkness to hide its mismatched black tail. Even for a stoic Pokemon, this creature is a testament to self-control. It will not actively attack an opponent. Its counter and mirror coat moves are solely used for reflecting attacks directly back at its antagonist. Brawl trophy information. A patient Pokemon, a nocturnal cave-dwelling creature. Wobbuffet is calm and collected, but it will fight back viciously if its black tail is attacked. This hints at something secretive about its tail. If Wobbuffet is put into battle, the opponent cannot run away or switch. Females have lipstick-like markings around their mouths. Pokemon Channel. A Wobbuffet appears as a host in the channel quiz Wobbuffet. It also hosts a present quiz, where the player can earn money for answering questions correctly. There's also a Wobbuffet punching bag that Pikachu can punch. It can be purchased on the Shop and Squirtle channel. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Wobbuffet appears as a spirit. Trivia, Wobbuffet has the highest base HP stat of all Psychic-type Pokemon. Wobbuffet is one of 14 Pokemon that one can collect 4 in Pokedex entries, 4 in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. If the opponent does not attack Wobbuffet, Wobbuffet cannot harm the opponent except with struggle. Itself unusable unless Wobbuffet has run out of moves, or through the use of a Z move or a max move. Wobbuffet was banned from many unofficial tournaments until Gen 5 due to its unique move set and ability Shadow Tag, making it somewhat difficult to counter. Before Gen 4, Wobbuffet could not damage a Ghost or Dark-type Pokemon with the use of Struggle that uses an attack of its own type because all Ghost-type moves were physical. The Ghost-type is immune to counter. And all Dark-type moves were special. The Dark-type is immune to Mirror Coat. It is still not possible for Wobbuffet to counter the Ghost/Dark-type Sableye or Spiritomb unless another Pokemon uses Foresight, Odor Sleuth, or Miracle Eye first, or the Pokemon is holding a ring target, or if Scrappy is passed on to Wobbuffet. In Gen 3, if 2 Wobbuffet with leftovers are facing each other in a single battle, the battle will become endless, as all of Wobbuffet's moves do not directly damage the opponent, and the player cannot switch to their other Pokemon due to Shadow Tag. Even if the Wobbuffet use Struggle, the damage will be healed quickly by leftovers. Shadow Tag and Struggle were both changed in Gen 4, likely as a direct response to this scenario. Wobbuffet was designed by Hironobu Yoshida. Wobbuffet's English name was suggested by Jeff Callies, who assisted in the naming of many Gen 2 Pokemon. Origin, Wobbuffet is likely based on a punching bag. That is, when it is hit, it bounces back. Alternately, it may be based on the concept of karma, as it can only cause damage if it is attacked first. Wobbuffet may also be based on an Okiagari Koboshi doll, a Japanese traditional doll with squinted eyes that stands back upright when pushed over. Given that Wobbuffet often touches its hand to its forehead, it may also be based on the late Japanese comedian Senpai Hayashiya who was famous for repeatedly touching his hand to his forehead while saying one of his trademark lines, "So Nansu Okusan? That's the way it is, ma'am." Name origin: Wobbuffet may be a combination of wobble and buffet, to strike repeatedly. Sonans is homophonous with the interjection so na n su, which roughly means "that's the way it is." It is played off by its pre-evolution Why Not, whose Japanese name Sonano is nearly homophonous with the phrase so na no, meaning really. Together they make for a potential perpetual conversation of "really?" followed by "that's the way it is," and so on, as seen in Camp Pikachu. In other languages, you got this, related articles, references, external links to the Super Smash Bros. Series. Let's move on. Now let's watch Wobbuffet's first scene in the anime. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching episode 146, Tricks of the Trade. In this episode, Ash Ketchum, the main character and his traveling companions, Brock and Misty, as well as his faithful Pokemon Pikachu and Misty's Pokemon Togepi, are at the seaside town, just walking in town, when they overhear a trainer talking to his Pokemon.
Back nice and straight. Your shoulders
And
won't
there's
look
the
so
Wobbuffet.
floppy. If you stand tall like that, people will see that you're a great Pokemon.
What kind of Pokemon's that?
Yeah, that is Wobbuffet's first scene in the anime. Let's move on. Now let's see why other people love Wobbuffet. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you familiar with this series, you might be wondering why we're on this single image, and that's because this is the only image we'll be doing today. This is Wobbuffet by Ikfai. So this cool, sort of comic book poster looking Wobbuffet here. Very fun. Looking almost like early 2000s, maybe late 90s kind of poster. It's a very fun style here. Yeah, that's it. Let's move on. Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight, as I need to wait until I've talked about Smeargle to catch a Wobbuffet. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Girafarig. As always, this is my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.